So far on our channel, we have covered pretty much most places around Greenville and in Greenville. So after this video, be sure to check out our other videos like neighborhoods in downtown Greenville, Simpsonville versus Travelers Rest, our videos on Greer, Taylors, and other towns around Greenville. What we haven't covered on the channel so far are places on the outskirts of the county. So in this video, we're going to talk about all of the smaller towns that you could possibly relocate to if you're considering a relocation to the upstate. So these are places like Pickens, Pumpkintown, Campobello, Tigerville, Landrum, Lawrence, Duncan, Reedville, Woodruff, Pelzer, Piedmont. There's a lot of towns that we could talk about. We won't talk about all of those, but we will hit the main ones. So if you're looking for a place that you can see an uninterrupted night sky at night and you can go to bed without hearing cars rolling down the highway, these are the places for you. As always, my name is Will Sawyer, your friend in real estate here in the upstate of South Carolina. And it's our goal with this YouTube channel that we are your #1 resource for all the things that you need to know about the upstate of South Carolina. And if you like the video, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and follow along in future videos. We would love to continue to educate you about our wonderful area. Let's get into it. So let's first talk about Pickens. So Pickens is just northwest of Greenville, just north of Easley. We've talked about Easley in other videos. Part of Easley is in Pickens County. In the city of Pickens, there's about 3,500 people, and in the entire county, there's about 100,000 people. So where Pickens is geographically, it is closer to the Blue Ridge Mountains. So when you're in Pickens, you're gonna have that rolling topography. It's gonna make you feel like you are in the mountains, which is a really, really cool thing about Pickens. And while you're in Pickens, make sure you check out the Pickens Flea Market, which is a world famous flea market that they have on a weekly basis. Now, when we've mentioned Pickens in past videos, it was usually because of its proximity to Lake Keowee. So part of Lake Keowee is in Pickens County. And we do have some residents that live on the lake that do live in Pickens County. So in between Lake Keowee and Greenville is Pickens. So when you leave Greenville, going to Lake Keowee, you'll more than likely go through Pickens. Now, Pickens has grown a lot in the last 10 years. I think there's a lot of opportunity here. So it's definitely a place that you should check out when you come and visit Greenville. So the next place we'll talk about is Tigerville, which is in Greenville County. So unlike Pickens, which Pickens is its own county, Tigerville, Marietta is still in Greenville County, just north of Travelers Rest on the way to North Carolina. And Tigerville is just like Pickens in the base of the foothills, so you really feel like you're in this small mountain town when you go to Tigerville. Tigerville is most known for being home to North Greenville University and Cherokee Valley Golf Club. Just north of Tigerville is Hotel Domestique with the famous Restaurant 17, as well as Cliffs Valley, which is an exclusive gated community with tons of amenities within that community. And just north of that sits the North Saluda Reservoir, which in addition to Table Rock, feeds Greenville most of its tap water. And lastly, on the northern rim of the upstate, we have Campobello and Landrum. So Campobello and Landrum are actually in Spartanburg County. So they are just northeast of Greenville. Landrum has just over 2,500 people. Campobello has just over 1,000 people. What you'll see here in these areas are more private estates. So you have larger lots, several horse farms in this area. It's within 30 minutes of the U.S. Equestrian Center, just over the North Carolina line. So what you'll have is a lot of folks will go from Spartanburg, pass through Campobello and Landrum to go up to Asheville on the weekends. And also Highway 11 traverses through this area, which actually connects Campobello and Landrum to Tigerville and then to Pickens. So if you wanted to spend a day traversing through these three areas, you could take Highway 11 and pretty much do that all in one swoop. So that was the northern rim. Now let's talk about generally the southern rim of the county. So just southeast of Greenville, you have a little town called Woodruff. And I'm gonna lump in Woodruff, Duncan, and Reedville all together for the topic of this video. So Woodruff has historically been a very small town, very quaint, about 35 minutes southeast of Greenville. Well, now since BMW, who has its largest plant in the entire world here in Greer, where they make all of their X-Series SUVs, they have recently announced a $1.7 billion investment in upgrading the current plant to start production of EV cars, as well as the EV plant where they're going to be making these batteries, which is actually going to be in Woodruff. So a lot of new developments are coming to Woodruff and this Duncan, Reedville, Lyman area. So I think over the next 15 years, this part of the upstate is going to look a lot different. So I think getting in there now is a great opportunity for new coming residents to see a nice wave of appreciation. So all along this Highway 290 and Highway 101 corridor is what connects Greer and Woodruff. And I think all along that is going to be a nice place for folks to at least look for a home while they're looking here in the upstate now, so that they, in future years, can see a nice amount of appreciation. So there's a lot of new things that have come to Woodruff and are coming to Woodruff, including residential developments, commercial developments. They even have a Starbucks now. So the small little town that Woodruff once was is not so small anymore. So next on the list is Laurens, which is just south of Simpsonville, Fountain Inn, and Gray Court. And Laurens is really the last larger town before you get to Columbia when you're coming from Greenville. So Greenville, you take 385 south, turns into 26, takes you to Columbia. Right before 385 ends is where Laurens is. So Gray Court is in Laurens County. Fountain Inn is the last town in Greenville County. So 1,000 homes just got approved to be built in Laurens. The population is currently about 10,000 or so. So I think Laurens is a really unique place to invest your money because I do think that place also is going to look very different in 15 years. Historically, it's been this small town, and over the next 15 years, I really do think that's going to change just with the influx of people moving to the upstate, and there's naturally just more land in Laurens County to be developed. So if you think you want to be in a smaller town when you relocate to the upstate, I think Laurens is a great place to look because of its proximity to Interstate 385, which you can quickly jump on. That takes you to Fairview Road in Simpsonville, where most of your shopping can be done only 20 minutes away from Laurens, or you can scoot up to Greenville in about 35, maybe 40 minutes, depending on traffic on any given day. So the last trio of towns that we'll talk about are Piedmont, Pelzer, and Honea. So first up, Piedmont. Piedmont is just south, kind of west of Greenville. It's this old mill town that was a thriving community up until the late 20th century. Much like many towns here in the upstate, the biggest economic driver at that time was a mill. Most of the homes within the city are these old mill houses. Now, the textile mill shut down, and so did the life of Piedmont. In recent years, Piedmont has seen a resurgence of growth coupled with real estate development. So there's a lot of land out in Piedmont, so we have a lot of developments coming to Piedmont, as well as the downtown really starting to make a change. The old Piedmont mill has some new tenants inside of it. What we're seeing a lot here in the upstate are old mills being refurbished to either be new residential dwellings or commercial space. And the Piedmont mill certainly has been redeveloped, and hopefully Piedmont is going to be changing over the next few years for the better. Next, we have Pelzer and West Pelzer, not to be all included as Pelzer. So the population of Pelzer is just over 100 within the city, and then West Pelzer has a population of just over 1,000 in the city. Now, Pelzer, West Pelzer, in my opinion, kind of can get lumped into Piedmont as one big group. We're seeing a lot of different residential neighborhoods come to these areas. And the last community we'll mention is just south of both of these, and that's Honea Path, which is along that Highway 25 corridor going from Greenville down to Greenwood. So it's a 4-lane highway that has a lot of raw land alongside of it. So I just sold a house in Honea Path, and it's my opinion that over the next 10 years, there's going to be a lot of development along Highway 25 going towards Greenwood. So I think this is also another unique opportunity for someone to come in, purchase a piece of property now, and see the wave of appreciation over the next 10 to 15 years. So if you're one of those people that's okay living a little bit farther from a city center, you want to see the stars at night, you don't want to hear as much road noise, you want your taxes to be a little bit less, and your money goes farther in these parts of town where luxury homes are less expensive compared to, say, Greenville, these are the places for you to check out. Call me. I would love to chat with you about the benefits and the drawbacks for each of these towns, and also, of course, help you with your relocation to our area. So do me a favor, give me a call at my cell phone number below or email me at my email below. I would love to chat with you about your relocation to the upstate of South Carolina. Thanks so much. So if you've been doing your research about Greenville, South Carolina, suburbs that are super popular today, on the Swamp Rabbit Trail, or an extension of the Swamp Rabbit Trail that's been built, we have a lot of cottage-style or maintenance-free living communities. Now, relative to other parts of the Southeast, Greenville still has a pretty low cost of living.